You know what? I'm going to work in Ponce. I really don't think we should do this. This really isn't a good idea. We need to get out of the house, and we can't stay home from work all the time, because we need to go to work so we can get paid. Because if we don't go to work, we won't get paid, so that we could buy things that we need, such as food, or pay the rent. No, Ponce, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And Ponce, the gun violence in Chicago isn't as bad as you say it is. Yes, it is, Phil.
And we were almost bowled over.
And Ponce, you're making a big deal out of nothing. I need to go to work now. Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you.
We're having dinner at our kitchen table, but we don't have to clean it up. We sit here, and it's not unusual for somebody on the other side to yell at us, "How's the soup tonight?"
Okay, I'm getting ready for work now.
But we let them know how the soup
Getting dressed, typing up my interview sheets, and then now I'm ready, all ready to go to work.
My name is Gabby, and that's my wife Sherry, and we own Krabby's Country Club.
Car's starting now. I'm starting the car, and I'm off to work. So far, so good.
And we were able to purchase that. It was a good fit at the time, and turned
so
out
far, so good.
We've got today yet for it. We really enjoyed the Supper Club.
I think it's okay. It is okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh no, what's that over there? Who's that over there?
That's the big thing, and there are friends.
Oh no.
Truly, in our kitchen,
I think there was another. There was another shooting. But at least this time it wasn't me. It was somebody else. And I think there are some TV reporters or news reporters there. TV news reporters there. This looks like breaking news. No, I better just keep driving to work. Better keep driving to work. Well, that's better, but there shouldn't be any more shootings in Chicago. No one should be a victim of gun violence in Chicago or any major city. No, nobody should. That's just terrible. Well, I'm almost at the Crown Studios. Almost at the Crown Studios, pulling into the Crown Studios.
You could go out for a ride in your car, end up at a destination that was worth going to. So the journey was a part of the fun. That's one of the reasons Supper Club was to give people the experience of traveling.
Going in there now.
Paved rural roads in the country, because Wisconsin.
I'm Phil Ponce.
To market in any weather because of this extensive network of paved roads.
On this Thursday, March 30th, 2017.
In the countryside, and almost any rural location along a road could be a place where a supper club could flourish.
Okay.
They exploit that.
Hey Phil, how was work? It was good, in Ponce.
Meant to be read from the road at a high rate of speed.
And Phil Ponce, are you sure? Because there's breaking news on the TV. There was another shooting in Chicago, in the Ravenswood neighborhood, and it wasn't you, it was somebody else, and that person did not survive. He was fatally shot. He got shot and killed. That's very devastating, Phil. He was really shot. That's very devastating, Phil. I'm sorry, but Phil, I told you not to leave our house, but you did it anyways. Well, you weren't a victim of gun violence like you were yesterday, but somebody else was, and you still could have been a victim of gun violence again.
Because they were growing out of that roadhouse tradition. when people
but
started
you
building
weren't.
specific buildings as supper clubs, there were a couple of different themes that they picked up on. One of the
That was
themes
still
was a
really
very
bad,
exotic
Phil.
appearance that related
I think
to
we should move.
the adventure of travel.
Why don't we
and
move,
adventure of
Phil?
Eating out. So they would
Let's
pick
move,
themes that were
Phil.
popular in American culture.
But
and
I
history.
want to
In
continue to
northern
do Chicago
Wisconsin, you saw
tonight.
a lot of supper clubs
Well,
that were rustic in design, that used log construction.
maybe you should get another
On
job,
Native
Phil.
American motifs,
No, I
folklore
want to continue to
of
do
the York
Chicago
Woods.
tonight.
There were supper
I want to
clubs
continue
that
to
had
be
exotic
the host of Chicago tonight.
experiences, like the clubs
Too
that
bad.
looked like
Things
southern
change.
plantations that were trying to pick up on
We're
southern
moving, Phil.
hospitality.
We're moving.
There were supper clubs that were
But I don't
designed
want
look
to.
consciously
I
like
want to stay right
hospitality,
here,
to
where
give
we,
that impression
where
the
we've
supper
always
club was their
lived.
home away from home. That it
Phil,
was
I'm
a
sorry, but the gun
family-oriented
violence in
place
Chicago, it's just too
that
much. It's just
embodied
not getting
those
any better. We
simple
need to
domestic
go. We need
values
to
of
leave.
that time period
We're moving out of Chicago and we're moving out of Illinois, and that is that.
That are served in a supper club, the old-fashioned, by far the signature
The
drink
property
of an
taxes
old-fashioned supper club.
in Cook County,
I
it's
used
just
to make
ridiculous.
brand new fancy sweet in my sleep.
And
I'd be dreaming
Illinois
about
is
it
just
for
too
years.
many problems. We need to move out of Illinois, Phil. We're moving out of Chicago. We're moving out of Illinois.
Like food, like dishes.
We're moving to Indiana, Phil.
Sort of iconic or, really important to other
We're
people.
moving right across the border, Phil. We'll be right next to
There's a lot of variations
Chicago.
From family to family. There's variations from bar to bar. From supper
We'll be
club
right
to
next to
supper club.
Chicago, Phil. We could still go to Chicago. We'll be in Indiana, which is right across the border from Chicago.
Small piece of orange, and it's usually a regular.
We're moving to Hammond, Indiana, Phil.
Some people have it with water.
And Ponce, I don't know about this. I really love being the host of Chicago Tonight. You can't do this. We can't just move. Now we have to, pack up everything. And then get call a moving van out here to come. Well, it's the best thing for us, Phil. Sick of Illinois, Phil. The Illinois budget's not getting any better. We're moving to a better place, Phil. It's just too devastating hearing news about shootings in Chicago every day. Maybe the grass will be greener somewhere else. But who will be the host of Chicago today? There will be somebody new.
The brandy old fashioned that we drink today was a consequence of the speakeasies. During Prohibition,
Blair Caven will be the host of Chicago Tonight. He will. What?